And now let's really finish the 14th chapter of A Tale of Two Cities from the third book. The book is called The Track of a Storm. The chapter is called The Knitting Done, and the knitting is done because Madame Defarge is dead, killed by her own knife in a scuffle with Miss Pross, who has just thrown away the house key on her way to the cathedral. In crossing the bridge, she dropped the door key in the river. Arriving at the cathedral some few minutes before her escort and waiting there, she thought, what if the key were already taken in a net? What if it were identified? What if the door were opened and the remains discovered? What if she were stopped at the gate, sent to prison, and charged with murder? In the midst of these fluttering thoughts, the escort appeared, took her in, and took her away. "Is there any noise in the streets?" she asked him. "The usual noises," Mr. Cruncher replied, and looked surprised by the question, as by her aspect. "I don't hear you," said Miss Pross. "What do you say?" It was in vain for Mr. Cruncher to repeat what he said. Miss Pross could not hear him. "So I'll nod my head," thought Mr. Cruncher, amazed. "At all events, she'll see that." And she did. "Is there any noise in the streets now?" asked Miss Pross again presently. Again Mr. Cruncher nodded his head. "I don't hear it." "Gone deaf in an hour?" said Mr. Cruncher, ruminating, with his mind much disturbed. "What's come to her?" "I feel," said Miss Pross, "as if there had been a flash and a crash, and that crash was the last thing I shall ever hear in this life." "Blest if she ain't in a queer condition," said Mr. Cruncher, more and more disturbed. "What can she have been taking to keep her courage up? Hark! There's a roll of them dreadful carts. You can hear that, miss?" "I can hear," said Miss Pross, seeing that he spoke to her. "Nothing. Oh, my good man! There was first a great crash, and then a great stillness, and that stillness seems to be fixed and unchangeable, never to be broken any more, as long as my life lasts." "If she don't hear the roll of those dreadful carts, now very nigh their journey's end," said Mr. Cruncher, glancing over his shoulder, "it's my opinion indeed she will never hear anything else in this world." And indeed she never did. And that's the end of chapter 14.